Saturday then, if we may? Have you watched it back? Could you see anything through the fog?
Literally couldn't see the first half. I think we hit the post. I mean, it was quite ridiculous. Our fans, top banter, absolutely brilliant. What's going on? It's one of my favourite songs, Marvin Gaye. It was quite bizarre, but you know, the second half we started with purpose. We looked a very good side, and in the end, we threw a few punches. So did they, but I think we had the better of it. To be honest, you wouldn't have known who was at the top and who was at the bottom. So we've got to continue that progress. Really pleased with everybody, and now we got another game Tuesday, Saturday. It keeps coming for you, and you know, it's just a nice feeling now. That's the good news. We're back on the grass today, which will make a big difference to what we can do. So really pleased generally, really pleased with everybody.
Particularly pleased with the clean sheet for the first time since you've been here?
Absolutely, yeah. Jack made a great save, really important save. They did break on us. Their 10 made a difference when he came on, I felt. But he stood up, made a save. They were in the box. Should have scored really, but we had a shot in the box as well. So, and Smithy's header. When you add up, I think we dominated in certain areas against the team that, if you look on paper, should have beat us. So that's what pleases me. So that's all I can say, really. You know, I was pleased with the performance, a large majority of it. What I could see of it, even watching it back, my wife and I were like, hang on a minute, where is it? I wish I had the eyes of the reporter. He could see better than me, but I bet he's not 61.
So to Birmingham then, highest ranked team left in the competition. What's the prep for that? How important is the game? What's the next one?
Every game's important when you're trying to build momentum, and it's couldn't have got a tougher one, could we? Well, we could. It could have been away. So I'm delighted it's at home. Really looking forward to the challenge. Obviously, I got in mind the performances we're going to need to try and get us out of the trouble that we're still in. And I think the next run of games, if we can have as strong a month as in January as we did in December, I think we could change our mindset. But at this moment in time, this game, this next one, is the toughest we've had. It's a good yardstick for us, and at the minute I'm a little bit, just had a meeting with my staff, told them my feelings on it. I want them to feed back to me what they feel, because I know what I would normally try and do, and I'm not sure that would be right now, if that makes sense. You can guess, everybody could speculate. I know what I'm talking about. I've said to them, which is professional. I'm not going to say it to you. My chairman said one thing. I'm not sure I agree with him. What life is about is realising I might make some changes, but I need to pick a team that I believe, like I did at Wycombe, I believe if we play well, we could beat them. And I was proved right that day, even with 10 men. And not many other people have managed to do that since. So I'm looking to do the same thing, really. I want to shake this lot up if I can. But with the huge amount of games, with the strange fitness levels of certain people in my squad, I got to be really, really careful. So that's what I've just thrown over to them. Don't normally do it. Thrown it over to them. Let me know what you think. I normally make my own mind up. So it'd be interesting what they say.
What if they give you 3 different versions themselves?
Won't matter. I'm expecting that. I believe I know what I'm going to do, but it'd be interesting to see what they say.
Obviously, you played Wycombe already. What are the differences between League One and League Two, do you think? Is it physicality? Is it speed of thought? Is it mentality? What do you think the difference is?
Yes. You've answered my question, to be fair. You've answered your own question. Experience is another thing. Definitely speed of thought, definitely mental ability levels, really, how quickly they see things, how easily they do it, and how communicative they are. But there's between all the leagues, that is the biggest difference, the speed of thought and how many passes ahead of the person who's marking you are. If I want it and I already know I'm going to play it back to the bloke who's give it to me, and you're going to still run in, I tell him where he's going to play it and I run the other side of you, I'm 4 passes ahead of you. So the good teams at the top are that. If you look at Liverpool, what they did to Accrington on the weekend with a 16-year-old kid playing, there's your difference. There's your difference. Boom, 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 boom. All the best. You know, that's the difference. That's where everybody's trying to get. But you can improve. And I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting whoever I put out there to have a right good battle with these lot. And hopefully there won't be a huge gulf.
A couple of questions about some individual players. How are Messrs Barden, Cox and Longfellow? Obviously, to miss out the weekend, I appreciate it was suspended, but how are they all doing?
They'll be improving, but not quick enough for this, in my opinion. So, if they're out on the grass, that's great. I'm not expecting Coxey to be out on the grass. Longfellow might be. I think Barden might be. But Saturday would be the earliest I would possibly consider those, if I'm being brutally honest. And then I've just told Birmingham my team, probably.
Edit forthcoming.
Yeah.
And in terms of transfers, a quick word on Jackson Brown. Does he have to drop as low as Aveley because of the 2 club thing, or is that the right move for him at this time to get games?
I just want him to get a little bit more experience. I love him. Can't wait to see him in the summer, honestly. About young ones, your team's got to be in a slightly better position if you're going to play them all the time and if you use them all the time. And what he's desperate for is to get out there and play and learn. He was enjoying it. So I've seen him close at hand. I've worked with him and I love him. I think he's absolutely different class. So off you go, son. What I got to do is make sure we're at first team level. There's a big difference between how old he is to where to stay in there, in my opinion. And a youth setup normally goes up to 21 years old, not 18 or 19 like we've got. So that's massive. But I love him. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. So I wanted to get him playing. We got him out, got him going again. Fantastic. It's not about that level. It's about what he does to play against men. Because academy football, I believe, is being seen to fail. There you go. That's a big statement. But I believe it is failing too many players. They're not getting enough success rate out of the ones they should be and what's happening to them in the rest of their lives. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look at Tony Pulis's bit that he's done about it. It's really, really influential and very, very good. And he's right.
How could that improve, do you think?
By caring a bit more. By opening up things, by having a better scenario, by playing games that actually matter to these young lads, you know, and stop making the rules suit the big boys. The better academy you got, the easier it is to get the better players from everyone else. I don't think that's right. I think a lot of players were proven in their first team of their beloved club, and then they get sold. And then the wealth in the game comes down and comes back out of the top levels. They don't seem to want to give it away, do they? Now they've got it, unfairly, in my opinion. That league should be still part of our league, the EFL. But it's not. It's the Premier League, so. Anyway, it's a long... I don't want to get into it. Really, what I'm trying to say is young kids these days, there's so many of them. How many are going to be released by top clubs now when they're getting to 20, 21 years old? How many are there? There'll be thousands of them. So I don't feel it's working.
A couple of the youngsters. Pharrell Johnson's back from Truro. Do you think you'll see him play for Swindon Town, or is that a long-term injury still?
I certainly will see him play for Swindon Town with my determination of making sure I'm still here. The boy's improving all the time. It was a horrific injury. It was a stress fracture. And he's doing very, very well. So I'm in the immediate time in this season, I'm not sure. But I'm telling you, I will in my time at this football club see him play for us.
Good news. And has Miguel gone back yet, or is that still pending?
Don't know. It's not my remit.
And in wider transfer, have you still got the trial list here? Is it all on hold because it's Saturday, Tuesday? Anything else to report apart from Tom Nichols, which is your concrete evidence of the deal done?
Nothing else to report.
Okay, in which case I'll ask you one more then. Tom Nichols said he couldn't play tomorrow because he's already played for Mansfield and you've got him lined up for the run. Is that the Ian Holloway run?
I'm not sure he'll do it today. But he might. Yeah, it is my run, yeah. It's my go-to to see where everybody is compared to everybody I've ever had. So he'll get ready to do it. I'm sure he'll enjoy it. But in weather like this, it burns your chest so badly, it's almost unfair, but get on with it.
Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you.
Before on the injuries, where are John McGregor and Harrison in how they progress?
I don't ask about those, to be honest with you. They're not in my remit to be out on the grass. I think Joel is coming back out. I get told they know when's he fit, when's he like to be fit, and sometimes you can't tell, particularly with what Joel's got. And they've got the same thing in Minton, so. When I see it, I'll see him when I see him, and I don't know at the moment. I don't ask about that. I'm only looking. You're sick, lame, or lazy. That's the truth. That's how I look at it. Are you sick? Are you lame? Or are you lazy? I think they're both still lame. They're definitely not lazy, and they're both not sick. So I'll have to. On my list, they're lame. If you want some meetings with the staff who look after that, I'm sure they can tell them. You know, but unless they're fit for selection. That's who I concentrate on totally. That makes sense? And I comfortably pass it over to the people who know that sort of stuff, because if I wrote it down in my diary, I'd have to tear the page out after Coxey, wouldn't I? I mean, good gracious me, never done anything like it. He's got a broken foot. No, he hasn't. He's behind you. It's like pantomime, innit? I don't know what happened there, but there we go.
The ones you do have available to see, he's not named the team yet, but is it an opportunity in a game like this, particularly against a side like Birmingham, for some of the players who maybe are sub players to really make a statement or show that they could force the issue to be in the team?
Could be if I pick those. I'm expecting whatever team I pick in our red shirt to actually win. That's my mindset. And I don't see Birmingham as anything other than a challenge. I was bitterly disappointed that we didn't get closer to Notts County. Score-wise and the game-wise, I thought they could have been well comfortable away from us, and I didn't like that. But that was without Smithy. And if I'd have put Smithy in that team without his broken nose, I think we might have given him a much better game. Because he can do things that they couldn't handle, I think. And we saw that on Saturday. It's all right playing all this football, but hang on a minute. Can you deal with him when he's in our team? So I've got to really, truly look at what is going on, as I've said. Brutally, honestly. Delighted with the weekend. Looking at further development in the league. This game is... I got 2 or 3 ways I could look at it, and I'm not sure. So I'll see what they look like today. I know in my mind what I want my team to do, but I'm not sure who I'm going to let do that. And they're a very, very slick and good passing unit who completely dominate the ball. They have rotations in areas that we wouldn't have seen so far. Very similar to Notts County, but in a different shape. With only 2 back there and 2 literally marauding fullbacks. So they you know, I know whoever they pick, whatever they do, I know what sort of standard it's going to be. And if I'm being brutally honest, their reserves could probably win League One, you know, and they're top of it anyway. So God knows what's going on, don't we? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to get at is continuity. And if I keep 6 the same and change 5, that's, to me, that's continuity, because I can put 5 subs back on. Do you get what I mean? There'll only be one missing out, because the new substitutions are vital. You know, absolutely vital. So whatever, who's going to start and who's going to finish, and today you might be a finisher rather than a starter. So, and that's how we're getting through this. So they're never that far away from starting or finishing. And that's what a squad should be. You know, unfortunately, you know, if we've had our first, probably had more injuries at the back than I've ever had, and we had our first clean sheet. So does life make logical sense? No, it doesn't sometimes, deliberately in football. But, you know, as I say, I'm sure I want our fans to come along expecting us to play really, really well with whoever I've got out there. And it is a chance. Everybody's playing for their lives, including me. I'm working for my life. That's exactly what a football club should be about.
And lastly, obviously, with what happened to Dan, Jack came back in at the weekend. What did you make of his performance, and also how he kind of responded to being out of the scene for a little while?
Well, I've said this a couple of weeks ago. We're playing well because of his attitude. And Barden was playing well because of Jack's attitude. And Jack played exceptionally well. Made a fantastic save, kept the clean sheet, first one I've got. So, without being a brain surgeon, do I really want to change that? Probably not. And was anybody right to criticise him in any way, shape or form? Not really, because look at the defence on Saturday. How well did they play? It was all the same people. It's about your mindset. It wasn't his fault. Lots of people blamed him. I never did. Because I literally know what I'm talking about, and sometimes you don't. I see him day in, day out. So, you know, I'm not up for blaming anyone. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He made a spectacular save, which we needed him to do. Probably the only thing we got wrong defensively. They exploited that. What a great save. Got us a point. We could have won it. Probably had better chances than that, if I'm being brutally honest. So he did really well. He looked really confident, and the team in front of him are doing really well, in my opinion. So I got some good choices to make, haven't I? But Dan's eye might have forced that. That's not my fault, is it? That's life. And for me, if you want that shirt, you keep that shirt if you've done what I want you to do. That's the way it is. It's the way of life. All right?
You mentioned how Nottingham and Birmingham are similar. What do you learn from how your team is similar?
Well, it's similar, not in the same style. It's similar, like they want possession. If you read the stats on possession, both of them are right up there every week. So they are used to that. So that's what I meant by that.
I think my question still applies. You might think it doesn't, but what can you take from the performance against Notts County that can be adapted to better deal with a possession-based football team like that?
I'd look at my formation. Where did we have 5? Where did we have it in the second half? How easily did we win the ball back? Maybe we might have to change. But again, this is what I need to look at, and I don't really want to give them any sort of clues. If they watch this, a lot of people do. I don't bother because I see it, and we can change and we can adapt. And I want our lads to be ready to switch and see things themselves and adapt on field. That's what you have to do. It ain't about us telling them everything. It's about them understanding and doing themselves. So I believe that's coming. And if you listen to the communication, it's vastly different from what it was when I first came in. It really is. You can hear them. People who are close to the pitch can hear what my lads are saying to each other and how they're helping each other. It sounds weird, but it really is a total strength that you need to have. As Sir Alex Ferguson said, the biggest skill I ever wanted my team to have was be good at hard work. That's a total skill. If you look at my lot, that's what they're doing now.
And you've changed systems a fair few times with them. Early on you were saying that you had to be given a lot of instructions in game to make sure they knew what they were doing. Is that also becoming less of a task?
The more they get to understand what we want and how we want it, the better they're developing their understanding of it and the better they're looking. And I think without the ball, we're starting to look not a bad team. You know, even against Notts County, we won it back so many times and we did nothing with it. That's the annoying thing. You know, even if we'd have done half what we did at the end of the game on Saturday, some of those moves, we might have got a goal and we didn't. We kept giving it away. So it's about putting it all together, you know. So we are improving, but I like us hunting the ball down together. You see a little of us over one side of the pitch if we've lost it, and an awful lot of the time we're coming out with a ball now and we're recycling it, whereas when I first saw it they were getting through us. It's like, hang on a minute, what's going on? Because we weren't coordinated well enough. So hopefully that will keep growing. It needs to, and we'll see. If I can give you an example of Tottenham in the first half compared to Tottenham in the second half, you know, we showed them a way to go, you know, but how good these teams are at rotating and moving. They don't just stay in one place. Tottenham stood there, so they were only a under 23s team, but we got to learn to move and do it that together. But whoever I put in there, they seem to be understanding it, and we just got to keep practicing, really.
Last one, you had 2 trialists in last week. Are they still with them now?
Yep.
Are you going to see any progress further forward with those? What's the plan this week for them?
Well, the plan is for them to show me I like what they bring to the group and how they act with the group, and if their skill set are exactly high enough to help us get out of where we are.
And I presume that the fact they're still here means that that's still possible.
It's still possible, yeah.
And you also mentioned last week about maybe more coming in this week. Is that still going to happen, or are you not looking at
Yeah, one's due to come in on Thursday.